Hi, I'm Ross Williams and I'm here to show you how to rig and tune your 2019 Manic or Manic HD wave sails. So first of all, rigging your sail, you want to make sure that you rig your sail in a nice place which doesn't have too much dirt or anything sharp that you could damage your sail on. So a nice grassy area would work nice. Firstly, you're going to unwrap and toggle the tack, the strap on here, the tack strap on, undo it. And roll out the sail. Next, you're going to take your RDM mast and you're going to check that the ferrule is nice and clean. So just wash it with your hands, make sure that there's no dirt, that it can get stuck, make it tricky to come apart again. The Manic sits on RDM masts and is based to sit on a constant curve construction, either 75 or 100% carbon content. The 100% carbon content is obviously going to feel a little bit more alive, a little bit more lighter in the hands, but a 75% carbon is also a very good choice for those that don't have the budget for the full 100%. Next, you're just threading the sail up the mast sleeve. Just do it gently with your hand. You're not pulling too hard using this strap. Once it gets a little to about this stage, you don't want to pull any more. You want to go to the center of the sail, to the boom cutout, and then just from the center, hand over hand, just pull it all the way to the top. And then once you've done that, you just want to check that the head of the mast is in the top of the cap of the sail. And you can just do that by sticking your finger down the top here and just check that that the mast cap is in the top of the sail, in the top of the mast. I can feel that's in good. So then I'll go back down to the bottom of the sail and I can check what my measurements and what I should be setting my sail to. So written on the bottom of the sail here is luff. Luff means the length of the mast plus the extension. The boom length, and the mast, the recommended mast. So this one's a 400 RDM. Like I said before, we recommend you use either 75% or 100% mast. It's a constant curve mast bend, so there are a few brands on the market, but we do recommend that you use our Gasher one because that's what's going to fit it best. Next, I'm going to take my extension, make sure it's nice and clean, put it in the bottom of the mast, roll up the tack fairing to reveal the pulleys, and then thread the downhaul. So next, first thing I'm going to do is going to pull the tension on the downhaul. I can pull it pretty easy with just my hands. And I want to see that the sail is falling away quite nicely from the top. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the boom on, and I'm going to just check that everything is nice and clean, so it's easy for me to put the boom on and there's no sand that can get in there, cause damage to the mast or the boom, or make the boom slip when I'm out sailing. I just put it on the middle of the cutout and then I can adjust it later. So now I'm just checking the boom length again, and I want to make sure that I have the right amount of extension on the boom pulled out. So when I see that that's correct, then I just put that in, make sure both clips are down, thread the outhaul, and then pull the tension. Once that is done, then I want to go around and I'm going to check to make sure that the battens have the right amount of tension on. I want to make sure that there's no creases in the sail. But I don't want to over tension them so you get S bending. Sometimes after a couple of uses, the top battens especially, they tend to slip a little, so it's worth carrying the tensioner with you at all times. And then just tightening them up. every time before you go for a sail. After I've pulled the outhaul on and I'm happy with the amount of outhaul, I'll come back to the downhaul just to give any final tweaks to make sure that I'm happy with the amount I have. Yep, that looks good to me. And once that's done, then I will tie the rope off at the bottom of the extension. I'll do a couple of knots around the mast base, around the mast extension, sorry. And then thread the excess rope. Okay, so once you're happy with the way that you've rigged your sail, there's a few adjustments that you can make to help tune your sail and get the most out of it. First of all, I recommend tuning you can tune your boom height. Personally, on a wave sail, I like to have quite a low boom between my chin and my chest height. So a chin height when there's maybe not a lot of power and I'm a bit underpowered and I just want to be creating a bit more lift from my gear. And then again, when it's stronger winds and I want to have a control, then I put the boom down lower. That allows me to sit lower and get a bit more control and stability. As for outhaul, on a wave sail, I tend to like to have a little bit of outhaul, but not enough that I take all the shape out of the sail. So basically, I pull enough that my best positioning is so that when the sail fills up with wind, it's able just to about touch the boom. It's not sitting over and creating too much power, but it's not flat, so it's feeling really twitchy. It's just in a perfect position. If you need to create a bit of power, then you can release a little outhaul. Again, if you're overpowered and you want to get rid of some of the power, then you can just pull a little bit more on. And that's what I'll do with the outhaul. Okay, the final thing you can tune on your sail, on your wave sail, is the downhaul. In general, I like to have a little bit of downhaul, so the sail feels nice and balanced in my hand. I don't want to have no backhand, but at the same time, I don't want to have too little tension in the sail that it feels heavy in both my hands and kind of sticks the board to the water. So it's about tuning and finding what's best for you. So you want to find that balance. And when you're happy with that, then you can just tie it off and go sailing. So one of the unique things that you can do to tune your Gastra wave sails, your GA wave sails, is we have a convertible batten system, which basically replaces the full length batten with a 3/4 length batten, which allows the sail a little bit more softness, a little bit more breathing. It's a good way of creating power when you're underpowered for light wind wave sailing. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew the tension on the batten till I can slip the full length batten, grab hold of this, apply the pressure, and I should be able to just pull the batten smoothly out the sail. So next I'm going to put the 3/4 length batten into the sail. And we have a little cutout in the middle of the batten pocket. And when I see the end come out, I just want to guide and make sure that the batten sits on top of the lower part of this section here. And I can see it there. And once it's done that means it's threaded onto the topper layer of the batten sleeve. So it will only go in as far as the 3/4 length placement. Next, I'm going to take the batten tensioning system, put it back onto the end of the batten. Make sure the battens are pushed all the way in. You might need to adjust again to make sure that it fits properly, snugly. And then just flip over the adjustment cord. Then finally, I'm just going to tension the batten, make sure that there's no creases in the sail. Okay, and that's how to rig and tune your 2019 Gastra Manic or Manic HD.